thank you for your love this morning, and we thank you for your Holy Ghost, Father, for your Spirit, Father. We call upon you this morning for the weak, for the ones who looking for help, for the ones who looking for peace, for the ones who looking for love, or looking for a family. Father, we know that there's nothing but peace and love inside of you. We thank you that you are not like men and that you exceed all expectations. And in your holy and righteous Son Jesus, I pray. Amen. Turn with me to Exodus chapter 1, and we're going to jump off at verse 18, and we're going to go all the way to 22. I'm going to do a little reading. We got it? Exodus 1, and I'm going to start off at verse 18. So the king of Egypt called for the midwives. Why have you done this? He demanded. Why have you allowed the boys to live? The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. The midwives replied, they are more vigorous and had their babies so quickly that we cannot get there in time. So God was good to the midwives, and the Israelites continued to multiply, growing more and more powerful. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families of their own. Then Pharaoh gave this order to all his people: throw every newborn Hebrew boy into the Nile River, but you may let the girls live. So this morning we're going to discuss a mother's love. So it was hard to try to put, like, it's like teaching on Father's Day, teaching on Communion Sunday. It's hard trying to dense down something like this that God gave us up in the 30 minutes. But if y'all be bear with me, I'm gonna try, because I'm not a woman, but I've been seeking God a lot. So we see uh what we gonna learn today is that a mother's love is not just connected to DNA. A mother is something that has to be inside a woman's heart, and you will see a woman's heart the way she deal with children. I've seen women that treated children that wasn't nowhere near kin to them, wasn't their own kids, like they was their own children. Now it's different whenever it's your child, but if you can have that type of love for somebody else's child, to me, that's a mother. Taking care of your own child is one thing, but whenever you expand that love to children that's not of your bloodline, that's also important too. So we will see up in this, whenever this king gave this order for the midwives to kill every newborn boy, you got to be really in tune with God to make up in your mind and say, you know what, I'm not doing this. I'm not killing no baby. And you got to think, back then, women were smart like they are now. They probably came together and said, look, it's a man we talking about. He can't tell what it is until the baby naked anyway. Wrap that baby up and hide it and do whatever you got to do. So whenever the king gave this, he called the women, because obviously they wasn't doing it. So he called the women all together, the midwives, and they said, well, the women popping their babies out so fast that by the time we get there, the baby's already gone. And so it said from them doing this, God showed them grace. God blessed them and let them have their own family. So just with this little piece right here, we can look into the heart of what we call mothers and see it extends beyond your own children. Most women have so much love up in their heart for babies and children, and just children in general, that even though the child not kin to them, they do care about that child's life. So we would see this in this day and age too. Whenever I was coming up, they had women who wasn't kin to me, who care for me and care for my friends. Matter of fact, I got a guy who me and him cool. He came once or twice. His mama loved me like a son. My mama loved him like a son. Matter of fact, she loved me so much that sometimes I get drunk and she said, boy, come on, y'all, I'ma sober you up before you go home, and your daddy tear your head off. She'll do stuff like that for us. Now, she wasn't the one who would promote us to drink, but she knew these knuckleheads going to drink. Let me sober him up so at least he could not be throwing up all over the place whenever his daddy go upside his head. Now, some people will look at it and say, well, she was allowing y'all to do it. No, she wasn't. All she said that Whenever y'all mess yourself up, come see me and I'm gonna get you straight before you go get your whooping. So we want to see how beautiful it is to be a mother. Now, let me make this clear right now. We see this day and age that they're trying to devalue mothers, right? So what they're trying to do is, and we heard this up in the past, they're trying to take men and give them surgery and allow them to have children, right? Y'all agree with that? Like y'all seen all the news reports and stuff, right? Let me speak for all real men whenever I say I'd rather put a 35-pound sledgehammer on my shoulder with a hard hat and steel toe boots and go swing that sledgehammer for 16 hours a day for the rest of my life until I leave here than give birth to one baby. Because the beautiful thing about being a mother is, and the reason why a mother's love is different, because as fathers, yes, we help make the children, but we don't have to carry it. Yes, we have to help raise the children, but we don't tote it inside of us. And that's a different type of love whenever you have something forming on the inside of you. Think about whenever a mother first find out that she pregnant or with child, her cycle stop coming, her body start changing, maybe she get more sleepy, maybe she get a little bit more hungry, and then as the pregnancy go further along, stuff that they used to love, it make them sick now. Some of them get weird cravings, want ice cream at this point in time. I remember one time Ro was pregnant and she wanted pizza, and I go and get the pizza, and she smelled the pizza and almost threw up. And I'm sitting there like, this is bonkers. I don't know what's going on. So as a mother, mothers go through so much with childbirth and child labor and bringing babies into the world. And then they get to the point that sometimes whenever their kids get older and their kids may make mistakes, people wonder why the mothers never give up on them. Dad is weird. Bye, go ahead. But a mother's love will be like, I'm not giving up on my baby like that, because God gave her the capacity to love a little bit harder. The reason why is because that's the reason why he gave them the abilities to carry babies inside of them, because he know us as men, we not doing it. So to bring this back home, just these little couple verses that we just read, we saw how strong these women love was, even for kids who wasn't their own. Because the Pharaoh gave the death sentence on every born male, and the women wouldn't kill them. So let's go to we're gonna be in Exodus chapter 2, and we're gonna go to verse 1. So it say, about this time, a man and a woman from the tribe of Levi got married. The woman became pregnant and gave birth to a son. She saw that he was a special baby and kept him hidden for 3 months. So this woman had a baby, right? And she had a boy. So with the death sentence already being passed, you know she taking a risk. Now, how do you hide a newborn baby for 3 months is beyond me. Because anybody in here that had kids or been around a newborn baby that know all they do is cry, eat, sleep, and poo. So you mean to tell me for 3 months, and sometimes it be at awkward times, sometimes you have babies that stay up all night, and I forgot what the old folks call it. They say they clock thrown off. I forgot what them people call it. How they say it? Some they got their days and nights mixed up. That's what they say. They got their days and nights mixed up. So she was able to hide this baby for 3 months, and a hard-headed little boy at that, like a baby boy. She was able to hide him for 3 months. And so that also shows the love that she had. Because whenever the king had sent that down, the woman said, you can say what you want. I'm not killing my baby. I'm going to hold my baby and I'm going to nurse him. So back then it was different because they all breastfed their babies. So can you imagine if the soldiers or something passing by her house, or she somewhere in public got the baby wrapped up and now the baby crying and she got to try to sneak and find somewhere to breastfeed the baby? So we look at this hiding that newborn baby for 3 months and we just breeze past it. But if you go and look into what all it take to raise a newborn baby, that ain't no joke. Then you try to hide the newborn baby. So verse number 3. But when she could no longer hide him, she got a basket of papyrus reeds and waterproofed it with tar and pitch. She put the baby in the basket and let it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile River. So what she did at this point was she had so much faith, and most people would look at this as being crazy. I mean, why would she put her baby up in a basket and let it go up in the river with all them crocodiles and big old snakes? But what may seem strange to us, God might put in somebody's heart to do it. And we know that a lot of times whenever God tell you to do something, it don't make sense. And a lot of times, whenever he tell you to do it and it don't make sense, it's always what we call up in a time of crisis. Like I give you an example right now. They talk about we on the verge of World War VI, and they finna drop nukes and finna be this poison and that poison. And this should be a time where God will call you and tell you to stand up, and maybe he wants you to start your own business. Where God, the economy about to crash. We finna be up in a world war. Now you doing what God told you to do by starting your own business and people looking at you crazy. But another thing that we need to understand, whenever God tell us to do something, don't expect other people to get it because he gave the vision to you. This is one of the biggest problems we have as followers of Christ. If God tell you to do something, stop expecting other people to put the stamp on it. My advice to you is don't even tell nobody. Thank God about it in private, and you go on and do what God told you to do. I'll give you a prime example. For the last couple weeks, people been seeing me every time we came in here. I'm messing with that camera, throwing wires all over the place. And it was funny because it looked crazy. My big behind on one of the chairs, straining it, trying to put wires back and forth on the wall. And it looked funny. But I didn't expect nobody to understand it because it's the vision that God gave me. Like more stuff that we trying to do around the church. I don't expect people to get it because it's the vision that God gave to me. So God gave this vision to this mother to put your baby up in that crate and let your baby float. Now, how much faith do you think she had to have to stick her baby inside that thing and just release it up in the river like that? Think about what was up in that river then. Big old alligators, and they up in Egypt. If you ain't ever seen them monsters, go on the computer and Google up that stuff that be up in that river. Them gators bigger than me. And y'all think I'm not big. Them gators are huge. Snakes, all type of stuff that they had. But she still had enough faith to let her baby go in it. Verse number 4. The baby's sister then stood at a distance, watching to see what would happen to him. So he had a sibling, right? And his sister was like, "Man, I'm curious. I want to see what happened to him." Now, it had to be hard for his sister to see that. She like, "Well, mama, you kept me," and it never said how old his sister was. But think about that as an older sibling. You watching your mama wrap your little baby sibling up who you probably been playing with for 3 months, put him in that little thing and send him down the river. Don't make sense at all. But verse number 5. Soon Pharaoh's daughter came down to bathe in the river, and her attendants walked along the riverbank. When the princess saw the basket among the reeds, she sent her maid to get it for her. Now, this had to be God divine, because what are the chances that a woman who was a maid or a midwife will put her own baby who's supposed to be dead on the tip of that river and send it off? And the very person that found it is connected to the very person who sent out the death sentence. So Pharaoh was the same one who sent out the death sentence that say kill all the babies, and now Pharaoh's daughter that found it and it took the baby. You see how God worked? This is why you shouldn't worry about whenever God let people try to do you something, or people try to hold you back or stuff like that. Because up in the end, God gonna have the last laugh. So it should be the same way with mothers. Listen, I'm not a woman. I don't want to be. Y'all have my utmost respect. But my best advice to y'all is don't worry about science and the government trying to downplay women, or trying to downplay being a mother. Y'all are important. And as society goes on and they keep trying to do experiments, they're going to see the wreck that they're going to have trying to make men out of women and trying to devalue women. God said, he who find a wife find it what? A good thing. And God put women on this earth to do exactly what they're doing now. Caregivers, mothers, helping. But it's hard. And another thing, I want to say this to all women, and I know y'all gonna get mad at me. Who in here believe that God make mistakes? So we all can agree that God made no mistakes, right? Whenever God made the world, he looked at everything he made and said, what? It is good, right? So let me ask y'all women something. What's wrong with y'all? No, I'm just asking. What's wrong with y'all? Speak back to me. If any woman in here thinks something wrong with them, speak back to me. Y'all think? Nothing wrong with y'all. So why whenever a woman come on TV or y'all see a woman up in the magazine, y'all feel like y'all gotta look like her? Why y'all gotta get y'all hair done like them? Why y'all gotta have makeup like them? Why y'all feel like y'all gotta be as skinny as a broomstick like them? I'm, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Think about it. She don't want to look like him. Think about it. They done brainwash women so bad that y'all feel like if y'all don't spend $200 on y'all hair, $200 on makeup, put on the waist shaper, try to put on a bunch of stuff that no man is gonna love y'all, and they lied to y'all. We don't care about none of that. Y'all ever look at how we talk to y'all whenever y'all ask us about that baby how it look? It look good. You always say that because we don't care. You beautiful how you are. Like that's the secret. Like they keep making women think that y'all gotta spend 17 hours up in the salon. As long as you don't stink, we don't care. I had a grandma. I had two grandmas. I was blessed to know them both. One of them name was Mildred. She was a heavyset woman, right? All she wore was t-shirts and some little pants and tennis shoes, and she drove a van, and she had a Jerry curl. No matter what my grandpa did up in the street, he always came back home, and he never left her. And she was a heavyset woman. She didn't spend a bunch of money on makeup. She kept her hair, but she didn't spend a bunch of money on makeup. She didn't wear no waist shaper. She was who she was. She was who God made her to be. My other grandma, my mama Liv, you know, she if she walked in here now, y'all probably think that she was white. Beautiful woman. Wasn't big on makeup, had big old bifocal glasses and all that. She looked like an old white woman hunched over, mopping the floor. Guess what? She raised 10 kids, and my papa did whatever he did up in the street. But guess what? He always came back home. Now, am I saying that it's good that they was cheated on? No. But Papa and them ran the street, but they knew where home was because they knew whatever they was getting up in the street, they couldn't get it back home. Now, men don't cheat because now it's different than women to cut you or something, right? Don't do it. But all I'm saying is, when can when did the culture or cosmetics or people on commercials put the value on a woman higher than the value that God put on y'all? Like I'll tell you this. How many of us, whenever we came in here, doubted that the chair could hold us? We came in here and sat right down. We got faith that these chairs could hold us, right? But the chair's man-made. So we got more faith in man than what we got in God. And I'm gonna tell y'all, whenever we first had got these chairs, me and Jarvis had to come in here with drills where Pops in here supervising us and put all the screws up in the chair. And now y'all still got faith in chairs. But if God tell y'all but if God sit here and tell y'all beautiful, if God sit here and tell y'all that y'all wonderfully made and how much he care about y'all and that he gave his son to die for y'all so that y'all could blossom and be who he wants y'all to be, y'all don't believe that because y'all don't look like somebody up in the magazine who got a bunch of surgeries on them. So you mean to tell me we didn't devalue women and mothers so much that y'all gotta look like instead of y'allself, now y'all want to get y'all nose cut off and make it be smaller. Wonder why y'all passing out and can't breathe no more. Well, your organs don't know that you getting your nose meat trimmed down. And then some of y'all go in and say, I need to get a little bit smaller. Look here, man, don't go up in there and let them people cut on y'all. Because y'all, some of like if y'all really do the research behind some of that stuff, a lot of them people that get cut on don't end up well. I'm telling you, like they end up gaining the weight back of their insides bust. Now, if you want to lose weight, that's fine. Exercise and do it. But don't be hard on yourself because you don't look like you did when you were 16. You probably in your 50s by now. You know how much stress and changes you'd have went through then. So why is it now that women are so devalued whenever God set the standard of a mother and a woman to be all the way up here, and man put the value down here, and we taking the same values that man got? I wish we would come back to a time inside the church and as people, where we will put respect back where God gave it. The woman is not a stepping stone. The woman is a helpmate to the husband, and the helpmate is important. Try to walk without ankles. See what happens. Try to talk and don't have no tongue. Try to think and don't have no brain. You mean to tell me what God put here to help us as men, we gonna boil it down to just a sexual object, something that we could put on the shelf and take off whenever we want? Now, for my men who don't know this, look this up. And one of my elders had told me about this a while back, and I remember reading it, but I didn't really pay too much attention to it. But I went back and read it, and it do make sense. It never said that if your wife treats you bad, God gonna get her. It said, as a husband, you being the head, you treat her bad, God ain't gonna hear your prayer. So you mean to tell me this woman could treat me however she want, and God ain't gonna do nothing? But if I read, God gonna get me. Yes, it's in the book, and I didn't make that up. So we see how important it is, how mothers and women are important, how we treat them, how we talk to them. And they got us degrading women so bad, even the young girls. Just because you don't dance on a strip pole don't mean that you're not beautiful. Just because you're not on OnlyFans don't mean no man not gonna want you. Just because you didn't have sex with 20 people don't make you unattractive. They coming to a point now to where they're taking God's word and twisting it. God was teaching us that a woman should respect her body. A woman's body is a special place. A woman temple got to be taken care of. If you don't believe me, look at all the stuff y'all got to go through. So why would you put yourself at risk? I use sex for example. Why would you put yourself at risk with all these different people whenever you could add to the stuff going on and what you already got going on? They got STDs now that Ajax can't get off. They're coming out with them every single week, new stuff all over the place. So as a woman, women gotta really take better care of themselves. But let me get back on subject. I'm at verse number 6. When the princess opened it, she saw the baby. The little boy was crying, and she felt sorry for him. This must be one of the Hebrew children, she said. Then the baby's sister approached the princess. Should I go find one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you? She asked. So at this point, they found the baby. And back then, rich people didn't raise their own kids, which they probably don't do now. They got nannies and all kind of stuff going on. So not only did she find the baby, she also said she gonna keep it and she gonna get somebody to raise the baby. Now, the next part is kind of funny because how many people in here would love to get paid to raise their own kids? You know how big a check I'd be getting? Woo-hoo, I could quit my job today. Something happened that was so beautiful, and only God can do this. This woman went from hiding her baby for 3 months to putting him up in the little thing, sending him down the river for one of the most richest women in the land to finding her, to getting paid to raise her own baby. If that ain't beautiful, I don't know what is. And it ain't child support, it ain't government assistance or nothing. This woman said, I'm gonna pay you to raise this baby. Now she didn't know, the Pharaoh's daughter didn't know that it was the woman's child. But imagine how beautiful that'd be if somebody walk up to you and give you a check and say, I'm gonna pay you this much of money to raise all your own kids. Lord have mercy. So look at how being obedient that worked out. Look at how a mother's love being so vast, how it worked out for her. She loved her baby so much that she wouldn't kill him. She said, I'm gonna send him down the river and God gonna take care of him. And sometimes you will see mothers doing that too later on in life. They'll still love you, but sometimes, whenever we start to get beside ourselves and that is the threw their hands up there, say, all right, go on out there and float. Whenever you get tired of them rough waters drowning you, you'll get your mind right. So we can look at that too. Sometimes mothers will let the child go out and make mistakes and do stuff, but they send God with them. We gotta know that too. And mother's prayers are heard also. I think I'm up here right now because of my mama was praying over me whenever I was small. Cause y'all won't believe it, but whenever I was younger, they tried to put me in special education. No, I'm gonna tell you why. Look, I ain't get down on myself. I'm gonna tell you why. It's a funny story. I used to stutter extremely bad. I'm talking about like I couldn't get You ask me my name, it was terrible, bro. So I get to school sometimes and I have questions, but I couldn't get it out. So my teacher's like, I can't, he just retarded. I don't know. He done. But like no matter how bad I did in school, because at one point I just gave up, but no matter how bad I did in school, my grandmothers would always show me love. Like one day, boy, one day you gonna do something, and God gonna use you, and God gonna do this, and God gonna do that. So they had enough love to know that they stuttering grandson was gonna grow up to do something for God one day. But they continuously showed me love, and let me tell you, it was a long process. Only a mother's love got me through that, cause I used to be embarrassing to my daddy. He like, boy, I ain't never flunked off no football team. I ain't you. but but all through that, even though I made my mama upset at times, she still had love for me. She still would love me. Now, would she say it all the time? No, but you would be able to feel it in the way that she would deal with you. So mothers are a very important thing that God gave us. We should hold them to the highest esteem. Don't think because you're a woman that you are the lowest of the low. They don't call women the weaker vessel because y'all are inferior. That's from a physical standpoint because that's why we don't play sports together. That's why men play their own sports and women play their own sports. Because from a physical standpoint, we're stronger. But from that other standpoint, whenever you come to having babies and changes and this going up and this going on and this unbalanced and y'all head hurting from the pass out, y'all can have it. God be with y'all. But mothers are very important, and it's sad to see how God set certain standards for mothers and held mothers to certain high esteems, and because the world are tearing mothers down, people are losing respect for them. Like I use for example, uh, whenever I was coming up, women like T. Gladys and women up in their older age. If they told you something and you didn't like it and you younger than them, you say yes, ma'am, and keep going. Because if not, if one of them old men heard you, they coming off the mound at the top of your head so hard you gonna forget where you was at. And think about it. At this day and time, some people, if you tell us something, even if we grown and you older than us, some must have cop attitude with you. I don't know who you talking to. Who you think you is? A lot of the respect is leaving, and God is big on respect. All right, so let's get back to respecting our mothers and respecting the ladies. All right, verse number 9. Take this baby and nurse him for me. The princess told the baby's mother, "I will pay you for your help." So the woman took her baby home and nursed him. Later, when the boy was older, his mother brought him back to Pharaoh's daughter, who adopted him as her own son. The princess named him Moses, for she explained, I lifted him out of the water. So he got the name Moses because the name meant that she lifted him out of the water. Beautiful name. I mean, I wish I knew what my name meant, but I don't know because I don't know where my name comes from. But I like it though. But at this point, we see now where the woman's faith, the faith of a mother, her baby was raised up in probably a better situation that she could have put him in. He got to be raised up in the palace. Now, it's certain benefits that he was going to have up in the palace than being raised with her. Because keep in mind, she wasn't rich. She was a midwife. So because she had faith, her baby was able to be raised up in the palace and get certain stuff and have certain benefits. So I didn't plan on being that long this morning. I hope I didn't bore y'all. I hope God is happy. So if y'all didn't get nothing else what I said, just know God want us to hold mothers to high esteem. A mother is a beautiful thing. And the important thing that we need to remember is you only get one mother. One. So for those of us who still have mothers, make sure that they know that you love them. Like whenever Mama Cheryl had came to my house, and the way me and my mama show love, we pick on each other. So she thought me and her like I was being smart with her. I'm like, nah, and then she found out she like, oh, y'all pick on each other. Cause in my family saying I love you is a little bit too much. So we gotta talk about each other. But it's a way that we show love to each other. And she know whenever I pick on her, I love her. So everybody got their own ways of showing love. But make sure you show your mother that you love her. Make sure you do what you can to try to make her proud. And this last point, even if she tell you something and you don't like it, let her have it. Because at this point, my mama getting older. She can't text me no more. I can say something and out the door, but she still got that left hand on and she'll throw something. So I want to thank God for the word that went forth. Thank God for our mothers and keep respecting the mothers. Mothers, keep loving yourself. All right.